And welcome. We're getting started, and today's topic is basically on your personal mission statement and budget. We just got finished going over 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. Law number 10, the law of connection. And what we're talking about is how this relates to the topic of today. So, like I said, the gentleman yesterday he asked me two different things. Number one, what are your accomplishments? And what have you contributed to society? And sometimes I'm because of the fact it's not about me, I don't really pay attention to things that I've done because I don't do it from a place of trying to get a big ego. I do it from a place of heart. When I do something for you, I'm doing it because I want to do it for you and I want to see you win. Sometimes I may not have a gain in that. Sometimes it's for you. And I'm okay with that because of the fact that it's not about me. It's about us winning together. So, and it's funny because I actually get uncomfortable with people. Like they were talking and he mentioned something and I'm like, I'm getting uncomfortable when he's talking about me because I'm like, I don't want it. It's not about me. And I think it's because I don't want my ego to get big because I've seen other people do that. They get so many accolades and all of a sudden they got this big ego and nobody can, contend with them, because they have this big ego. And I don't ever want to be that person, so I strive my best to always keep it modest, but in the same token, make sure I'm able to still hold my power because we need to have power, so I think sometimes we have false humility. I don't know if you've ever seen somebody with false humility, but it's like, you meet them and you think one thing, and then after you get to know them, you're like, you start seeing those little signs of it's really about them, and the only reason why they're there to quote unquote help you is so that they can get a bigger ego. And so many times we see that. When we went over law of connection, let's go over real quick first and foremost what it said. It says you can't move people to action unless you first move them with emotion. The heart comes before the head. Okay. My mentor always shared with me, before you ask a person for their hand, show them your heart. Show them who you are. And that's challenging sometimes because sometimes when you show people who you are, sometimes people utilize against you. They seek for things that are a win for them and a lose for you, if that makes sense. So a lot of times, I find that I guard my heart. Now, I'm not against everybody, but if I see that, I'm like, I'm done. I don't have no work because I know me. I'm a giver. I'm naturally a giver, and I don't mind giving, but not if you're using me. The moment I notice you're trying to use me, and I mean use me in a negative way, because we all use each other, if that makes sense. I mean, we use each other, but it's normally a give and take. So one of the things is that it says how to connect with people. Connect with what? Yourself. Why are we connecting with ourselves first?
Because you can't connect with someone else. If you don't connect, you can't connect with someone else adequately. If you don't connect with yourself.
What's the major key to connecting with yourself?
Self-knowledge.
Self-knowledge and self what else?
I would say self-inquiry, self-observation, introspection.
Okay. What allows us to have self-knowledge, inquiry, and introspection?
What allows us?
I'm looking one word. I'm looking for. They say the greatest energy on the earth.
Okay, you lost me.
If there's one power that has the ability to overcome anything, and this is what we're taught anyway. Now, granted, we may have different perceptions of it, but there's one key energy that is on the earth that supersedes and overcomes so much. Huh? Love. Okay. Now, does everyone agree with that? Because you may not, and it's cool if you don't. Does everyone agree? Love.
That is power.
Can we use that? Okay. The reason why I'm asking that is because I can't automatically assume that you feel the same way or you have the same perspective. And so if you have a different perspective, great, let's communicate about that, because then we all grow together, if that makes sense. So I've always been taught that love is the highest energy on the planet. If you apply love, you supersede and overcome so much. I remember years ago, I was having issues with my kidneys. My kidneys, they were like, you know, your kidneys are starting to fail. And I'm like, I'm not willing to deal with that right there. So I looked up, well, what's the issues surrounding kidneys? And it had to do with family issues, anger, resentment, you know, bitterness, these different things. I called my family together and cursed everybody out, let them know how I felt. And then I did what they call smile therapy and sent love to my kidneys. And I took some crystals, and when I slept, I had the love crystals laying here, which would be my rose quartz, and you know, a couple other things for support. And I drank plenty of water, and my kidneys healed themselves. Now, someone may say, you know, well, you might misdiagnose. I know what I was feeling, and I can always tell when my kidneys start malfunctioning, and it's always surrounding the same energy. You get what I'm saying? So self-love, you can't connect with other people if you don't have self-love. Though all those other things are very pertinent as well, and I agree with you. But I believe the support base of those things is the self-love.
I believe those things that I mentioned are branches from self-love.
That's true, right? Yes, yeah. So, and we share with openness and sincerity. How can I share with openness and sincerity if I don't have self-love?
Okay.
Hard to, right? And then it says, you know, we live to live your message. Okay? And then it says, know your people, communicate on their level, give yourself totally to the people and the message. What is our message? And this is wherein I felt like this tied so well into today, because we're going to talk about our message, our personal mission statement, and then our business mission statements. And then you have to believe totally in the people and the message. How many of you believe in what we're doing with Arna? Okay?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Well, go stand in the corner until you get some clarity there.
No, because I know.
Okay. Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, okay. I got you. Share what you meant by that.
Well, believe. I just a belief, but I know. I know it.
Okay. So you have knowingness.
Right. Yeah. The knowingness of that.
And it's funny because there is, even though a lot of times we say it's a play on words, but knowledge of words is power when you apply that knowledge. So even though we use the word believe and it's based upon the paper we see, he's like, no, I know. How do you know? Through what? Experience, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is, some of us may only believe because we don't have the experience yet, where some of us may know because we already have experience. So we're going to have different levels, and it's okay because we'll support one another through those levels. Share how the message has touched you. That's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be sharing with how the various things in life have touched us, because our mission statement is going to be a culmination of what we've experienced in life, if that makes sense. You know, you can't have a mission statement unless you've experienced something. Like, what's a mission? A newborn, ask a newborn their mission. You know, they don't have anything yet because they haven't had experience. So, you know, it's those experiences that take you to the point of saying, you know, these experiences have shown me who I am, because it's how you relate to those experiences, if that makes sense. Okay. And then offer direction and hope. So we're going to be doing all of that today through what we're talking about. So we're going to talk about, first and foremost, the mission statement.
Oh, you were asking. I'm sorry.
Never mind. He has a paper towel right here. That's cool.
Can you pass me one of those, please? I had no idea.
Don't look like a surgeon. Don't look like a surgeon.
Honey, you look like a master too.
No, you can say yes, because I don't mind being a servant. They say service to many leads to greatness.
That's right.
All right. So,
What did you say, Troy? Did you say service to what?
service to many leads to greatness. So we're going to talk about how we can serve many, because service to the masses will lead to financial wealth. But the question is, you have to know your service. You have to know your mission. You have to know what you do. What do you bring to the table? Who are you? All of us bring something to the table that is worth something and has wealth to it. But we have to be very clear on that. Now, when it comes to a mission statement, has anybody taken time out to prepare their personal mission statement? If you have, if you could share.
I'm gonna take them.
Okay. Who's first? Come on, bro. If you could step up. Yes. I just started. Yeah, so let them know that.
Okay, David, my mission statement is to bring my people back to the state in which we were created in the beginning, supplying the nourishment to our whole being to raise our level of consciousness back to Godhood. A platform where all who choose to participate can gather the knowledge to enlighten and uplift ourselves to preeminence we once had. So the family of nations, I didn't rewrite this, excuse me. So the family of nations will respect and honor us for who we are.
You like them?
Yes, I do. So the family of nations will respect and honor us for what we have provided to the nations of the world. Our children growing up to be proud and productive members of the world community. Showing them our past so as to never forget what happened and never to be subservient to anyone again. Respect for self and natural law will get you the desired results we all yearn for.
Anybody else?
Did we write this?
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. If you don't have the personal mission statement, but you have the business one, if you could share that. Come on up.
Okay, good. It's simple, because as you requested, I am. As requested, I looked up exactly, what a mission statement is, not to overcompensate. Because your mission statement is something that you want to briefly give a description of to make people aware of what it is, potential might be, what it is. Keys for Life is a nonprofit organization that was created to help one cope with the stresses in life and be in a more creative way through processes that will empower one to walk through life with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Nice show.
It's interesting. It's interesting that you went the extra mile to actually research and see what a mission statement should be and how long it should be. I purposely didn't go over that because I didn't want anyone to be limited in the beginning. What we're going to do, remember you talking about flushing it out? Flushing it out means walking a person through the process of getting to the meat and core of what that would be. So what you did was you took a mission statement and then you further expounded. When you're expounding, that comes in other aspects. But the mission statement itself needs to be the core of who you are. Okay? So I purposely printed out some of the things. For instance, I started a company by the name of New Vision Financial Services, and the mission statement is transforming income into wealth. Very simple.
Mhm.
Your mission statement needs to be something that people, when they hear it, it makes them think. It's rhetorical. It's like, so how can you help me transfer my income into wealth, or transform my income into wealth?
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Full body works. Mind, body, and spirit connection. Okay?
Mhm.
So now, granted, it does not have to be that short. It can be longer. One of my other ones is creating economic independence through entrepreneurship and multiple income streams. It's just to the point. This is who I am, what I do. Okay? Me personally, for me personally, I deal with everything from a holistic approach. So we had started a company by the name of Holistics, which we're still developing because everything takes time to develop. Some things, boom, some things it takes time. So with Holistics, it's just simply, helping people to ascertain their higher self. All of mine tend to be more so with help, but that's who I am. So when you know who you are, you don't have a problem with it. I also have a brochure, and you guys can take a look real quick. Even my the new vision piece, it's like a small card, but it gives you details of who we are. So when you're looking at creating a mission statement, it needs to be very clear, clean, and concise. When people hear it, they should kind of know what you do, or it be the type of mission statements that provokes them to ask, so what is it exactly you do? Because they hear something and it doesn't resonate, they're not going to be interested. So then it doesn't work for business. So we're going to work on that together, helping each other to define and redefine. So take your personal mission statement, read through it, and take out, literally put just the key points. It could be 2 sentences. Really, a mission statement should not be longer than 2, maximum 3 sentences, because you want people to remember it. Yes, sir.
So, Shane, which I think the last time you asked that question about the business mission statement, and so we had this Align Consulting, and we had 3 words, periods. Life affirming purpose.
Yes.
And that's essentially what we do.
Makes sense.
Would it make sense if we had the groups about this product ourselves and to show them how making money, even with eggs, trading?
Well, we're going to get to that. What I'm doing is, right now, what we're working to do is take you from point A to point B.
Okay.
From point A to the destination.
Gotcha.
And the point B is the destination.
Gotcha.
But how do we get there? I must assume that no one knows how to start a business. This way, we encompass the people that know how to start a business. They're going to be able to give input. People that don't know how to start a business is going to learn. So we all grow together. Does that make sense? Okay. So we are going to be visiting this over and over and over again, because we're going to get it right. All right. So we want to make sure that we're learning together. What is the purpose of a mission statement?
Clearly.
To give a person an overview of your talents.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Clearly and succinctly get your position across.
Give me more. When you say get your position across, what does that mean?
And that means that in a nutshell, in an elevator pitch, in a brief moment of time, for them to understand what it is, rather not from a business or personal perspective, your goal or intention.
Okay. Now you brought up another subject, which is the elevator pitch, and we're going to get to that too. having what's considered to be an elevator pitch. Elevator pitch is where within about 30 seconds, no more than 1 minute, you state who you are and what it is you do. Because you want people to be attracted to you, but they can't be if they don't know who you are. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
All right. So we're going to be getting into that, but the foundation, in my humble opinion, I put it like this: I'm going to go based upon the approach that I take relative to business. So, if you want to start a business, if you want to live life, if you want to have a successful home with a successful marriage, what one thing do you need in both business and in the home to maintain?
Communication.
Understanding.
Come on.
I would say you need structure.
All right, so we're gonna write down some of these things. And I'm gonna sit down so I can read this. You said what again?
Communication.
Communication. What else?
Structure.
Structure. What else do we need?
Understanding. Understanding.
Understanding, which understanding I think is a sub of communication.
Yeah.
Come on.
Finances.
Finances. Can you have a successful business without finances?
No.
Can you have a successful relationship without finances?
No.
Nah.
No.
So let's put finances up here.
Well, finances can't trump that though,
No.
because no, finances cannot trump that because
Can't trump what?
What can
you
you do without
can't.
finance?
Finances cannot trump any.
It's not about.
Okay, hold on, let's do this. We're talking about business and home.
Mm.
Exactly.
What's common with both of them to maintain success in both the home and business?
Finance.
Not finance.
So if you have love in a business and you have love at home and you're broke, will you have a successful business and will you have a successful relationship?
Not at all.
No, you're gonna be friction here, some kind of way or another.
Can we have it? I'm asking because
I think we can handle it. If we take a very simple example of the time when the woman, like in the 40s, when the women were nurses and teachers and stuff like that, and the man made far less money, the finance wasn't the thing. The structure was the thing. There was a man who was the head of the household, there was a woman, there was structure, there was communication. There was poor finances, but they had successful household.
But here's the deal, and I want you to hear the communication here.
Right.
I am asking you, what is the similarity between business and home?
Oh, the similarity is finance. Similarity.
Okay, so I want to make sure we stay, because sometimes what happens is we don't hear the full question, if that makes sense. And I just want to keep you on topic with that.
Right.
We're talking about similarity between home and business. If you have poor finances in home,
right,
love may trump. I have yet to see it, honestly. I've seen many of people leave because of finances. I'm just being real, yo. I know some people that were in relationships for years, and finances mess up, and they're out the door. I'm gone. Finance is good. I can take your crap because you got money. What? Oh my God, the comedian. What was her name? Oh God, it was so funny because she was talking about Holly Berry and what's the guy's name? Justice.
David Johnson.
David Justice. The comedian got him and said, "Listen, it's one way you treat a hundredaire, another way you treat a thousandaire. But when it comes to a millionaire and a billionaire, it's a whole nother set of rules." She said, if I walked in, I'd have been like, get that, get that, get that, get that. She said, because she said it could have been justice for all up in this mother effer. As long as the money was there. Now, granted, the joke to me was funny. I understand her point, though, that, you know, God only knows what goes on between a man and a woman. Depending on emotionally where you are, money doesn't always matter. But it was just funny the way she brought it across. She's like, look, the justice for all up in this joint. But you know the way she said it. She said other words. But I just thought it was funny. But So back to the farm. So first and foremost, I always discuss mission statement because you have to know where you're going to. The roadmap to where you're going to is based upon budget. Your budget. So your personal economy is one of the things that we really need to discuss. Now, you don't have to share with me what your personal economy is. If you want to, I'm open to it. If you choose not to, that's okay too. But what I'm going to do is tell you to take part in the process. Okay? So, first and foremost, when you start a business, most people, I'll just take that. When it comes to wanting to start a business, it always starts with your personal finances. If your personal finances are messed up, you're not going to have a successful business because that means you are not good at dealing with finances. So we need to deal with that through what's called a budget. Did I give you a number?
It's enough.
It's enough? Okay, cool. So we're going to talk about your household budget. And I want you to simply take part in this. You may not have the exact amounts, but whatever amount you can come with up in your head, I want you to take part. Okay. So when we're talking about a budget is necessary because if you go to a bank with a business plan and you don't have a budget, you don't have anything. They're not even going to see you.
That's right.
But the foundation of all business and family life outside of love is going to be your finances. So we need to be able to functionally navigate through our financial wherewithal, okay? So your household budget. Here's a worksheet here. So first and foremost, write down your salary. How much do you make on a yearly basis? Now, this can be a monthly budget or it can be a yearly budget. Okay, if you know what you make per month, let's go monthly because it does say monthly on top here. So yeah, let's go with monthly. Okay, so let's write down your monthly income. Okay, if you have a spouse, you want to write down her monthly income. If you have any dividends, gifts that's been received, if you're receiving interest, if you have any investment income, if you have any reimbursements coming, and if you have whatever other would be for you when it comes to monies coming in. So other could be Social Security, disability, it could be anything like that. Monies that's coming in, okay? The purpose of you writing this out now is just to help you kind of navigate through, because you're going to redo this when you get home. I'm just trying to make sure you got how to go about formulating a budget, okay? Now, what is the purpose of a budget? Anybody?
So if you're on it can help you understand if you're on track.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody else?
Helping you manage your finances.
Okay, so we said, you said keep you on track, and you said manage your finances. Keep on track. Anybody else?
Manage finances and savings.
Finances and savings. Okay. Anybody else?
Yes, where you can create other points of investments.
Investments. Anybody else? All right. So, purpose of a budget is to have a financial roadmap. If you wanted to get from here to King's Pressure, what do you need if you don't know your way? Roadmap, right? Now, even if it's a GPS, that's still really a roadmap. Okay, it's just directing you. Okay, and from that roadmap, it takes you from start to finish in a given period. So a budget can be monthly, it can be weekly, it can be daily, it can be yearly. Now, really what would happen is you would take it from yearly depending upon financially where you are and your knowledge, some people take it from yearly and bring it down from yearly to monthly to weekly to daily. Okay, but when you're not clear on something, you can take it the opposite way. You can go from monthly to yearly and then scale it back down. It doesn't matter. It's just getting to the budget. Okay. Also, you'll find that a budget actually stops financial drainage. What happens is a lot of times because we don't budget, we don't know where our finances are going to. So, you'll get to the end of the month and you're like, what happened to all my money? You'll get to the end of the year and you're like, why am I broke? You'll get to a specific month and wonder, well, why can't I go to a Dunde? Because I'm broke. I ain't got no money. But it was all about budgeting. I mentioned that because a couple of years I was like, I want to go to Dunde. God, I don't have no money. Yeah. I'm not going.
You had that, but yet you did this over here. Oh my God. I'm broke.
Right.
Yeah.
So that right there is dealing with your personal budget, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, when you're dealing with a budget, there's specific things you want to look at. There's one side of the equation is income. The other side of the equation is expense. So it's income and expense, okay? The expenses, we're dealing with rent, mortgage, and insurance. Okay, that's talking about renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance. We're talking about loans when it comes to auto. So auto loans and insurance, you want to budget that out. You want to put that on your budget worksheet. Auto fuel. A lot of times we don't think, well, how much money does it cost me to run my car on a monthly basis? Okay. Bank charges. When you talk about bank charges, think about this. Most of us don't take into account, well, how much do I charge for my banking? What's my banking fees on a monthly basis? We don't budget that in. Then when you're talking about groceries, how much do you spend monthly on groceries? Have you taken a look at, it's great with a budget, especially if you do it for a 12-month period. Now you can project how much it's going to cost you in a given month, because generally you'll find that things fluctuate depending on season.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You spend more in some seasons than what you spend in others.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have nothing to look at it against, to say, well, how, if you've done it for an entire year, the next year you do it for another year, now you have statistical information to say, oh, in January of 2005, I spent this much. In January of 2006, I spent this much. I can project and say I will probably spend this much money within this given line item in the ensuing year. And you can now factor in increase. But see, all these statistics can't be dealt with unless you've had a budget. So starting out the budget is for the purpose of giving you a financial roadmap moving forward to help you better gain perspective on what is my quote unquote return on my investment. So a budget helps you gain perspective on return on investment. And when I say return on investment, you don't necessarily have to have a business to have a return on investment. Return on investment deals with time. The time-money equation. How much time I'm putting in and how much money am I gaining through that time I'm putting in? Does that make sense? Okay. We also have this expense worksheet when it comes to business. Okay. So I'm giving you guys stuff for personal and for business. Peace, God. When it comes to personal and business, here you go, bro. We're talking about the budget right now. And so we want to make sure that we are looking at our personal expenses and budgeting, but now we're translating it into business as well. Okay, so you guys can, the same thing we're doing with the personal one, we can do with the business one as well.
You got more to pass by?
He asked me why I did that. Now you guys see why I did that. Okay. So when it comes down to it, looking at, groceries, looking at clothing, most of us don't budget in our clothing for the year. We don't think about that. How much is it going to cost me, to clothe myself, clothe the children, just clothing, period. Okay. Childcare. That's a major expense. And we don't look at those things to figure out if what I'm doing is not giving me a return on my investment, then I need to find something else either to add or replace. Okay? Commuting cost. Some of us drive to work, some of us we may commute to work. So whatever those commuting costs are. I'd be stupid. Electricity and gas. Okay. The beautiful thing, and actually, what I would do is separate this out: electricity, gas for Pennsylvania. Some states, electricity and gas are through one supplier, so that's why they probably put electricity and gas together. Okay. So there were plastic ones downstairs, dude. I mean, sir. Yeah, that was one of the. It's okay.
That's what you said earlier about gas.
So electricity and gas. Telephone. Of course, you have to add in cell phone and regular phone if you have a home phone. Okay. Water. If you're paying water, garbage, cable, dining, entertainment, gifts, hair and beauty. Most of us don't take time out to budget in the cost for us getting our haircuts, the cost for us getting our pedicures, our manicures, eyebrows for women. Hopefully don't.
Laundry detergent, dish detergent.
Right, all of this different stuff. So, there's household repairs, medical and dental, recreation, savings, right? Loans, subscriptions, taxes, travel, vacations, savings. Now, budgeting in savings. We are going to eventually go over the book, Richest Man in Babylon. So you guys can be prepared by buying the book, Richest Man in Babylon. The second chapter is 7 Cures for a Lean Purse. Okay, so I see one person writing so far, Richest Man in Babylon. The second chapter, which is 7 Cures for a Lean Purse. One of the 7 cures is pay thyself first. So when you do your budget, you are to budget in paying yourself first. How much do you pay yourself first? How much? Anybody? Would anybody happen to know how much you should pay yourself first?
As much as I can.
Right. I love it.
Huh?
That's right.
10%. 10%. No.
More than 10%.
Here's the deal. This is what you want to do. Most of us aren't paying ourselves anything first.
Mine going.
So going from 10 to as much as I can doesn't work for most people. Can you agree if you made $1,000 that you could take 100 and put it aside?
Yeah, that should be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. If you cannot take and put $100 aside, then put 5% aside. Put 3% aside. Put 2% aside. Put 1% aside. But don't let that number be zero. Because zero means you're not winning. And it makes no sense for you to work on a daily basis and put in sweat equity, blood, sweat, and tears and get nothing from it. It makes no sense. This is why our people are losing, because we don't take these principles and utilize them for our growth. Pay yourself first is one of the major principles we must do. So my thing is this. It depends on where you are, because some people are into spiritual organizations where they pay 10% to their spiritual organization. And what I find is amazing, it amazes me, because you're faithful to the spiritual organization, but you're not faithful to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one spiritual text that says charity begins at what? Home. And then spreads abroad.
That's right.
I have nothing against you paying your 10% to your spiritual organization. But you must, just like you have that tenacity to do that, you must do it for yourself.
That's right.
That's why it says a wise man builds an inheritance for his children's children. And it says it like that in other texts as well. It's just that I don't know where it's located or how it's related, but I know it's related. Okay? So when it comes down to a monthly budget, doing it for yourself first, personal, and then also translating it to a business. So these are the two first foundational pieces of building a strong economy and creating a business for yourself. Is one, your mission statement being personal and then professional. The two should tie in some way, shape, or form. What do I mean by that? I am into health. That is, my mission is to really help people when it comes to their health. Health to me equals financial health, mental health, spiritual health, physical health. I have my degree in massage therapy. I have a degree in accounting. Some people say, how do you tie those together? Their health.
That's right. That's right.
Show me somebody that's broke, and I'll show you someone that's stressed and sick.
Hello, I am.
You know what I'm saying? Show me someone with that is really torn down economically, and you will see that they will have issues concerning lower back problems. They'll have issues concerning lower extremities. Okay? They'll have issues with shoulders, kidneys. All this different type of stuff will happen through economics, because stress will kill you. And most of us are dealing with financial stress. Show me someone that's broken, I'll show you someone that has relationship issues. Can't get along with the baby mama because you broke. Think about this. If you were totally economic independent, let's say right now you had $1 million. And your baby mama called you, and you like, baby, I got you. Boom. She might think about getting back with you.
Oh, boy.
No. But I mean, I'm just being real. A lot of times we break up due to finances.
That's real.
And that's what's real. But the thing is, so what do we do to cure that? By becoming financially solvent. It starts with you first knowing you through your personal mission statement. Secondly, by, if you do have a business, creating a business mission statement. Also, by creating your personal budget, so now you know what your personal economy is looking like. Creating, if you have a business budget. Now you can gain perspective on what's your return on investment. And over a period of time, now you'll be able to project forward and say, this is what my costs are concerning various things. And how do I now scale back, save money, have proper investments, have different things working on my behalf? I tell people, your money should be out making money for you. And I make the joke, I say, I want my money to be a hoe. My money just out there making babies everywhere. Because if it is, it's coming back, right? Your money should be cyclical. Like I should never, I don't say I'm broke. I say my money's circulating. Went out and came back. Now where's it circulating to? We need first for our dollar to circulate within the Aboriginal Republic of North America first. How many times should it cycle?
4.
Huh? Okay, you say 4. Anybody else? How many times would you want your money to cycle in your community?
8.
8, 10. Okay.
Something crazy.
How about 100?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? How about
That's what we
1,000
got.
within your community? So how do we make that happen? By you telling me what you do based upon a business. But in order to have a business, you must have a plan, but you can't have a plan without knowing financially what it looks like to even create a plan.
Gotcha.
So that's why I start, to me, foundation is mission statement, budget, then we get into some type of plan, but the plan starts with a goal. What's the goal in mind? So, and I want you guys to be thinking about this stuff, because we're gonna be going over this in class as we move forward. I'm talking about what is your business. So if it's okay, what business was, you had a business that you were starting, am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the business?
A coffee business.
A coffee business?
Yes.
Okay, so what equipment do you need to start a coffee business?
Right.
What equipment
None.
to start a coffee business?
No equipment. Well, other than gas.
Okay, all right, so describe for me what your coffee business will look like. Is this a coffee business like a coffee shop, or a coffee business where you're just selling coffee beans? Neither.
I'm selling individually wrapped gourmet items
Okay,
that has a lot of benefit to it.
okay.
And it's convenient. You can take the show on the road.
All right, so when you did your budget, did you look at your initial investment? Okay, so these are things you have to look at. When I say budget, you're looking at your initial investment. How much does it cost me to start my business? So do I need equipment? If I need equipment, I need to factor in what those equipment costs are, which means now you need to go out and do some research to look and find out how much does it cost me to even have the equipment for the business, okay? Secondly, if I need products to go with that, how much is the product going to cost me? Okay? What's my return on investment? Meaning, if the product costs me $3, if I sell it for $5, what's my return? $2, but that's $2 without factoring in the expenses. Thank you. So the problem that I find that we have is that we say, all right, it's going to cost me $3. I'll sell it for $5. I'm going to make $2, but we don't calculate in how much gas does it cost me to deliver that product? How much is electric does it cost me to run my computer to market the product? So how much is my website going to cost me? Now, remember, now you got to factor in the fact that you're paying for cable. What's the cost on that? So you must factor in all these different things. So there are line items of expenses that you must look at to allow you to know what your full return on investment is. So the question is what was your startup cost for the business? Okay, that can be factored over a year's time if you're paying monthly, or if you paid a lump sum, then that can be done within that month. Is there a fee? I know, like, for instance, Stacy, if it's okay, we were talking years ago when I was doing some accounting for Stacy. He had a contracting business where he went out and he cleaned buildings. But each year you had to pay a fee, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you must calculate that fee in. Do you have to have insurance in order to operate your business? Okay, if you have to have insurance, then you need to factor that into your budget. So what I want you to do is go home, look at your business that you're looking to start. And if it's not a business you're looking to start, then what I need you to do is take your personal budget and write out the cost of you doing business. And your business at that point is your home. How much is it costing you for rent? How much is it costing you for childcare? How much is it costing you for soap, all your toiletries, toothpaste, eyeshadow, whatever it is you use? You know what I'm saying? You need to look at those things and take and break it down by line item. And then we'll be able to then take it to the next level from there. So you guys have some homework, because in order for us to move forward and help you define certain things financially, we need to really look at how you're viewing your finances, if you are. How many of you look at your bank statements to see what has been deducted on a monthly basis? How many of you that have credit cards look at your credit card statement and go through it line by line? How many of you that have mortgages take and look at your mortgage and discover what's going on with it line by line? Looking at the principal balance, looking at the interest, looking how much you paid in, and figuring out, was it applied correctly? All of this is part of budgeting. But see, no one, how many of you learned this in school? Okay, most of us haven't. Maybe if you went to Wharton School of Business, possibly, but most of us, we don't talk about these things. And my thing is, while it's great to talk about nationalization and becoming, coming out of 14th Amendment citizenship and, being protected under the auspices of ARNA and, declaring your indigenous status and all this stuff, it'll all fall apart if you don't have foundation with understanding your finances. Because all you're going to do is take one hot mess and bring it into here. Makes no sense. So, and back to what I was talking about earlier, finding out what each person does. So it's your responsibility within the next few weeks to have a conversation with each person in the class, find out what their expertise is, and refer someone to them.
I like that. I like that a lot.
This is about us growing one another's business. Right. And we're not going, we keep saying we want people to come and be a part and nationalize for what? To blow smoke up one another's ass? And excuse the expression, but that's, my thing, that's all it is. I can't be a part of that. This has to be a point of growth, of prosperity, of renewal, of newness. We have to come together and work with one another and help each other grow. That growth can only occur if we know one another. This is where it goes back to the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. Knowing the people you're working with. What do I bring to the table? Who am I? Am I good at what I do? And if I'm not good at what I do, I am my brother's keeper. Sister Akima, listen. You made them burgers the other week. Them things was horrible. I'm sorry. I just gotta let you know. Now the concept was great, but what I need you to do is, I know you're an excellent cook because the spaghetti you made was great, but the burger itself, not so much. It wasn't flavorful like I'm used to your food being. Now, see, you guys know I'm lying because the burger was amazing. But what it is that I'm using an example, and I knew you would be cool with that. When it comes down to it, we need to be able to be open and honest with one another. And if I share that with you, don't take my critique to heart and think I'm chopping off your head. I'm bringing it to you because I want you to grow and be better.
But there's potential there. That could be an asset for the nation if you can mass produce them.
Exactly. And one other key thing that I will share is that when you're going to someone, share the positive first before you share the negative. Because it's easier to deal with if you tell me that I'm great in one area and then say I lack in another area. I can receive the greatness first. Because we're so used to people telling us you're stupid, you're dumb, you're nothing, you won't be anything, because that's what has occurred in our culture.
You'll let out a little bit more, like an example when it's really kind of hard to think of what the good is in somebody.
Oh my God, yes, there are times where it's hard, really, really hard to say good.
Right.
So, all right.
Yeah, because
I had someone do some work for me. When you first walk in, that wall that's there and the door was not originally there. This house was open. So I had someone do work for me. And he came in and I told him, I shared with him what I wanted. He did the layout and he started doing the work. We agreed on a price. But he thought, based upon the agreement on price, he was going to milk it. and take longer than what we agreed on contract-wise. And then I was going to pay the amount we paid on top of the amount that we agreed upon whatever the daily, the weekly amount came out to. He thought if he spent out a couple of weeks that he could say, oh, it was this extra. Now, you know, they always tell us, they kind of tell us that, you know, it's better to go with the white man. We're taught that, you know, black people, you know, we're excellent at certain things, but, you know, when it comes to contract, we're not able to follow through, yada, 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 we're late, yada, yada. Well, this white man was late every day. He didn't measure the stuff out properly. He was one of my tax clients. Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
Very difficult situation.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't pay him because I didn't like the work you did. And I'm not paying you for something you did wrong. And he's my tax client. He's still my tax client till today. How was I able to swing that? It was a very hard meeting. We sat down and I shared, I appreciate the layout. The design layout was amazing. The follow through was piss poor. The walls are not balanced. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I can't, if you notice the door to the apartment area isn't even installed properly, and that's because of the way he pitched it. He pitched the door wrong. There's just a whole bunch of stuff, and to bring another contractor behind him, now I'm gonna have to pay double. So I was like, I'm not paying you. No, I paid for the materials. He came through and done contract labor, but it's not a good job. So I sat down with him and his wife, and I just simply shared from my heart. Listen, I appreciate your attempt, but what you should have said to me is I'm not skilled in this area. And so you want me to pay you for substandard work, and that's not fair when I put my money out. So I was like, you know, hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. I'm like, but I'm not paying for that substandard work. No, I'm just not. And I mean, it was hard. It was a hard conversation, but I had to let him know, no, your work is not up to par. It's not professional, and I did not pay him.
All right, I got to do like you do. Sometimes I got to redirect you here. So the issue is, if you're trying to give someone, like you said, you want to critique them, if you just can't find, like for me, if it's a particular employee, I really want to encourage them, but I got to find a good starting off point because I can't find.
So what do they do good? Are they on time? Do they have their own vehicle?
Don't need it, but no.
Are they able to get to the job on their own?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, listen.
I appreciate
John,
that you
I
get here.
appreciate the fact that you get here on your own. I don't have to be responsible for coming to pick you up. But here are some concerns I have.
Okay. All right, I can start there. That's good.
Just find something. You got something.
Right. Yeah.
The way you comb your hair, the way you dress, the way you tuck in your shirt, the belt you got on. I mean,
Right.
the cleanliness of the uniform. I mean, I've managed before, and it is hard when you're. Yeah.
I like that you always look presentable and that you do show, you know, you do get here.
Yes.
So let's talk about some. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me.
Positive.
I have $5,000. Okay. I want to invest in the burgers. Your business now. You understand? You got a business partner. So I'm just saying, if I was to have $5,000, I'll invest it in your business. Like you said, so we can learn to. Even if some of us have somebody have about an idea, invest that money with them.
And that's something we're going to talk about in some future class, because here's the circumstance.
I agree with that.
And if it's okay, I'm gonna throw you on the spot for a second. Brother Jasir and Brother Khalif have been working on certain portions within the Law Master's piece.
Beautiful. This is great.
And I know from a financial standpoint, it could be easier if you had backing. Am I correct? No? Okay, so you're fine with that part. Okay, so let's say, for instance, you did need backing financially. Presently, where would we go to?
He's going to put it in your bank and it's got it with his own server.
Okay, you said bank, right? So most of us go to a bank to start a business. When you have a group or organization that truly believes in one another, we can self-finance.
There we go.
Now, right now, I run a SUSU, or what they call a SOCO. It is indigenous to our people. They've been doing it for years. It's where a group of people come together and say, I'm going to invest X amount per week, bi-weekly, monthly, and at the end of whichever cycle, one person gets the pot. So I'm running two different ones. One is $1,000 payout, and you invest $100 every other week. Another one is a $4,000 payout, but you invest $100 every week. Now, in order to run something like that, there must be trust amongst the group.
You better believe it.
What I find is that most of us don't have trust. Now, I've run one prior successfully without any challenges. We're working on our second and third one running right now, and they're running concurrently. And, you know, we haven't had any problems. You know, people, they call, hey, I need to get my money in. I need to get my money in. Let's make this happen. I need to get my money in. If someone's running behind, hey, I don't have it this week, but I'll have it next week. It's all about communication, right?
Right.
But no one has faltered. No one has not come through. Now, from it, one of the individuals within the group has taken the payout and started their business. And it's an Aboriginal business.
Beautiful.
To now begin to create a gross domestic product for him personally, but now, because it's an Aboriginal business, it creates a gross domestic product for the nation as a whole. We have to get to the point where we're working this in a manner that we're looking to win together with one another. That is not just about coming together, hearing somebody stand before you, talk about law, and half the time you're confused with what's being said or how it applies to you. Or someone talking about indigenous status, and it's like, all right, I hear what you're saying, but now how do I make this work for me? So what we're looking to do is now take what we've gotten from the bones and put flesh on the bone. And see how to partner in and see how we can utilize one another. My thing is, like I said, getting to find out what one another has from a resource standpoint, and now referring someone to them. So each week we come, we should be able to come with referral in hand. Hey, such and such. Have any of you ever taken part in the BNI? You know what the BNI is? All right. It's a business national something. Yeah, BNI. It's like a breakfast club, but they do it normally at lunchtime. It's where you pay X amount into the group. You can be the only one with that skill set. So if it's a lawyer that takes part, you get on one lawyer, one real estate agent, one life insurance, one health insurance, one person in that given area. Each week you come, one person gets to highlight their business, share with what they do and how they help people, and then each week you must come, or within a month's time, you must give a certain amount of referrals or you're kicked out of the group.
Yeah.
Because about growing business.
Correct.
So my thing is that with us coming together on a weekly basis, we're talking about all these different things, and I probably, because of this week being Mother's Day, some of us do celebrate it, some of us don't. Honoring your mother is a beautiful thing whenever it is that you do. But we're not gonna belabor class. I know that we didn't go over ARNA stuff today. However, we did go over ARNA stuff today. We didn't go over the structured ARNA stuff, meaning protocol manual and definitions. We will resume that next week. However, this relates so well with who we are because we're looking to build a nation, and the only way you build a nation is by building people, because people create the nation. And we're a nation of individuals. So As I shared, make sure you ask one another what it is you do, share your business structure. The best way to share your business structure is by having a mission statement, both personal and professional from a business perspective. Eventually, we're getting to the elevator pitch, how you can share what you do quickly if you're just meeting someone to kind of like stimulate some business while you're out and about. As we learn what each other does, make sure that we're asking around, you know, if we hear someone say that they need assistance, that we're referring those people, you know. I know Brother Jasir is one of our Aboriginal jurists. So, you know, he helps in very specific areas. You can ask him what area it is. If you have referrals, definitely refer people over. He's amazing with what he does. Sister Akima, I know I'm very highly recommended through Sister Akima.
Oh,
yes, because, you know, they've worked together. And he works with some really competent individuals that are able to really bring about remedy in various areas. So we need to work together. We need to work with one another, build one another's business, refer clients, help one another. And we're looking to grow as a nation, as a people, as individuals. We're an individual, as a people, and as a nation, because it starts with you. Okay? So definitely appreciate your time. We have, okay. Don't forget, we have the Hidden Colors event coming up on June 27th. What did I do with that flyer?
I'm going to let everybody sign it now. I don't think everybody signed in either.
Oh. Did everybody sign in?
No.
Okay. For those of you that didn't sign in, you please sign in. We are going to have, on Saturday, June 27th, we're going to be having at the Community Education Center, we're going to be doing Hidden Colors 3. We're going to be doing the video, and then we're going to have a panel discussion, talk about economic growth, economic development. The reason why we're doing some of the stuff we're doing now is because we need to be able to talk about business structure, how it works. Because economics is all based on business. Really. The other thing that, you know, eventually we're going to need to look at as well is the military. I mean, think about that. You can't have a nation without military. You can't have a nation without people that are protecting the nation. That's just real, you know. And so each person, whatever area that you specialize in, you know, is the area you take part in different parts of the ministries, and part of it is, you know, protection of the nation. So we'll be looking for people that are looking to be part of that. But this right here, directly after, we're going to have an after party, an African dance party. So kind of bring it back to the culture. It's going to be fun. So, you know, bring your family. You'll enjoy it. It's going to be live drumming, and it's going to be some music, and we're just going to enjoy and rock it out and have fun. You know, because it's one thing to come and learn, but another thing just to enjoy your life and just let your hair down and just be at ease and be at peace. Everyone's welcome. Everyone's welcome, bottom line. The donation is $5 for the viewing of the video in advance, $8 at the door, or $15 in advance for the party, or $20 at the door. Okay? There will be food, there'll be vendors, there'll be all different type of stuff going on. So definitely make sure you show up. Invite your family, invite your friends. One of the things you'll find is that people will want to become a part of what you're doing because they like you, because they like what's going on, and they're not going to want to be a part of this. Always humdrum, boring crap. You know, has to be something. Also, the international convention is in August.
28th, 29th, and 30th.
28th, 29th, and 30th. I know he's dead. Why isn't you look at me every 28th, 29th, and 30th, we'll be having the international convention. It will be being held at the Freedom Theater. That's on Broad Street. I think during that period, he's going to be doing a couple different things. He's going to do a nature walk, am I correct? Okay, we're going to do a tour of the city. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize is there were pyramids right here in the city. So we're gonna do a walk and show some of that stuff. Historically, what was here. So it's gonna be amazing. So you want to make sure you get registered for that. When can we have tickets for that? We need to get those tickets right away.
Maybe, end of July. End of June, excuse me.
End of June. Okay. Tickets for the Hidden Colors video will start next week. We'll have them. We are gonna ask each person to be responsible for 5 tickets. Okay. So you'll get 5 tickets, and we'll write down the numbers. And please, just we're asking with anticipation of you following through of being responsible for 5 tickets. Okay.
What is the next cycle for the, what do you call the program you're running?
Susu.
When's the next cycle?
The next cycle is August or September. August or September.
August or September.
Yeah. Chief Jawad has classes every Wednesday. You could announce where and time.
Cherokee, Washington, D.C. at 1637th Street at the Arthur T. Daniel Library in D.C. Classes start at 6 and at 9. That's every Wednesday. So that the family members that are in Cherokee region, invite them, please. And we'll be there every Wednesday.
So make sure you invite some people out to that as well. And then of course in Manhattan every Monday at the National Black Theater starting at 7 p.m. Is she still doing the classes? Okay, for those that are interested in the classes concerning health, cosmology, and law, those classes are happening starting at 5:30 at the National Black Theater, and it goes through back to back to back, so they end right around like 9:30, 10 o'clock. But amazing class that you definitely want to get a chance to plug into. With that, did I miss anything? Any other announcements? Okay. Introduce yourself to one another, please. Make sure you ask, find out what one another does and get some detail on it, so that you can refer people to one another. And whether it's that you do it via phone call or whether you bring it to class, if you do refer someone to to an individual, each week when we come, I want you to share how you were able to refer that person, and then the person that referred to you, whoever is referred to, what I'm going to ask you guys to do is come back with a praise report saying how that client, how you fulfilled what was needed for that client and the outcome. Does that make sense? Because then what happens is we help build one another. We gain confidence in one another by seeing outcomes. Okay, yeah, this is about nation building, right? Right now, this is the time when you talk about nation building, wonderful to know about this stuff here. Great, yeah, Nation building is putting your foot and your hand to the plow and beginning to do the work. So we need to really do the physical work and get the financial resolve so that we're not dealing, like my thing is, if you are financially solvent, a lot of these circumstances we fall into, you wouldn't fall into because you financially solvent. Thanks again. Everybody have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
For those people that borrow pens, please put the pen back because we need to make sure that we keep the pens for the class.
Work my way back to tractor trailer drive.
Oh, now.
Yeah.
All right, but do you do any jobs that you do any kitchen building jobs?
No.
What happened to your voice?
Wait, hold on, bro. What is that shit you trying to work your way back to?
Because I have to put a staff together and get necessary chemicals and all that for the cleaning and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I got a job. I'm trying to see if I can fit to
That's not true.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll just be ready right. I'll tell you.
All right, that's great. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, for anyone that ordered the cleansing tea for the liver cleanse, I do have it. So if you do need to get it, it's $40 for the actual liver cleanse tea.
Can I make my announcement too? So for anyone who was interested for the whiting fish and the salmon fish, I do have it in. It's all organic. It's all Aboriginal. Very good. Yes, absolutely aboriginal.